And they've done an absolutely immaculate job. Again, looking over your left shoulder, you'll see Steve come back now. Just to clarify that, this is a canopy up pass where when he gets beside us, that right-hand wing of his will be low and you'll be able to look across into the cockpit. See Steve sitting there working quite hard. Although the aircraft is extremely responsive and most of today's display will be conducted within the boundary of the airfield. The flashing red beacon you see is simply an anti-collision beacon, although we do have exclusive use of the airfield until 2:45. Steve's coming back now with his next manoeuvre, which is called a quarter cloverleaf. He should announce it shortly. You'll notice for each manoeuvre he takes the aircraft up quite high and dives it towards the ground to build up extra momentum. Right, diving down now. Out on top and pulling through to complete the manoeuvre. He's made a left-hand turn, sorry. The landing light, which is illuminated at the moment, is purely to warn off any other aircraft that may encroach into the airspace at the moment unannounced. Going back now, he'll come back this time and do an aileron turn where the aircraft actually, an aileron roll, where the aircraft actually rotates around the longitudinal axis of the aircraft, which runs from the nose to the tail. Having got sufficient height, he'll do a right-hand bank. And you'll notice that the lift that Steve was talking about earlier, the pressure differential on the wing that lifts the wing, when he's upside down, of course, it works in the opposite direction. It pulls him towards the ground. So you'll see him dive, and as he gets beside us, he'll lift the nose up, just to counter out that negative lift, if you like. Up he goes, rolling over. And lost minimum height. As Steve comes past this time, you'll see the underside of the aircraft. You'll also notice that the undercarriage is in the fixed down position. And as this aircraft is a basic trainer, it is one less thing for a training pilot to think about. Requirements of this display are controlled by CASA, the Civil Aviation Authority. These manoeuvres are to be conducted with a minimum height above the ground of 200 feet. I'm not going to argue with Steve on that last manoeuvre, you can make up your own mind. Coming back this time, he'll do an approach and what we call a touch and go. This will be on the grass, just to utilise the grass and to demonstrate that when I say utilise it, that is for a purpose for conserving the tyres. Coming down now, you'll notice he actually contacts the ground, round about here. There he goes. Full throttle for takeoff again, 2800 RPM, off the ground very quickly. The purpose of a touch and go is purely for training. If you can imagine, he has to stop, taxi all the way down to the southern end of the field again to commence his next takeoff run. He could probably fit about 4 takeoff and landings in an hour, whereas doing a touch and go he can get somewhere up near 10. As you're all aware, taking off is optional, landing is mandatory. So the more practice he can get putting the aircraft back on the ground, the better for him, the aircraft, and everyone concerned. Right, Steve's doing a conventional right-hand circuit at a low level. You'll notice that it's not a traditional circuit with square corners. He will actually get down there and turn onto a base in a sweeping turn 1, so as you can see the airfield, not lose sight of where he's going to line up to land. And I just thought I'd let you know that this aircraft obviously has a big 77 on the side. When you go inside, the first aircraft you see on the left-hand side is another Windshield, another CT-4, painted yellow and green, and has the number 27 on the side. So this is the last of the production for the RAAF, and the one inside was the very first. His call sign was Heritage Parrot, and the reason for that is that aircraft inside, when it first came out, being green and white, had the colours of a parrot. I'll just, the reason I pause here is to see how good that landing was, and I would give it 9.5 out of 10. Yeah. We dare not give him 10 because it may go to his head. And yeah, Heritage Parrot unfortunately stuck, and the reason